welcome to
American in Yerevan.
You are listening to 103.0 Radio Von. And I'm sitting here with Ina MK.
And Stephen Oxner.
And today
welcome back, Stephen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
No, you had a short trip.
I had a quick, very short, what they call business trip.
Oh, yeah.
A trip for work. Which is what we're talking about today.
Work. Yes.
Talking about work. Talking about the things that we chase after in life and then complain about when we get them.
Yes.
Yeah?
Always. Almost always. And those lucky people who love their job.
Oh, man.
I think we're one of those.
We are.
Stephen. For those who don't know, Stephen the actor, Stephen the waiter, Stephen the translator, Stephen the teacher, Stephen the carpenter.
Yeah, Stephen. The many faces of Stephen.
Yes, 50 Shades of Stephen. Stephen, how big is your resume?
Oh, how big?
I think it's like 5 pages long because the other day when we were speaking about the jobs and the works that you have experienced in life, I think it was so different. So
the wide spectrum.
So endless.
Well, they say that if you're not hunting for like a tenureship at a university or something, or if you're not trying to get a job as a doctor or something. For normal, everyday people like myself, they say you want to have a resume that's just one page. So I have a few resumes. I have my English resume that has all of my translation and my editing work and my English teaching and English coaching. So
you have like different formats.
Yeah, and then I have my acting resume with all of that experience. I have my other resume with all of my strange experience of roofing, for example. Is on that one.
Wow. Stephen, so you're as Russians say, master na все ruki.
Ah, yes, or as they say in English, a jack of all trades and master of none.
Well, that's the opposite.
Okay, we'll stick with master na все ruki.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for pumping me up a little bit before we start our show.
Ready?
So we just started off with Work, Bitch. By Britney Spears. The first time I had ever heard that song. Had you ever heard that song?
No.
It's kind of like, wow.
It's my first time.
Really? She came into
I've
the
heard
21st
this one.
century.
No stress. I don't want to work today. No. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. She had before that phase of the 90s where she didn't want to work. She just wanted to be young. And now she's like, I'm doing it, so you should too.
Oh, okay.
All right, but we should go to the next song.
Which is?
A Hard Day's Night.
Yay!
I love it when we can pick Beatles songs.
Classic.
Listening to Elvis Presley on 103.0 Radio Von. You are listening also to the program American in Yerevan. And today
we're discussing very important
most important part
of our
your
lives.
And mine.
You and I.
Work,
jobs. Work, all this hassle. What is it all about?
What is it all about? Gosh. It's like one of the biggest defining points of a person's life. There's so many things that happen in life, right? You have you have your first love, you have all of your interests, you have your hobbies, you have experiences of pain, experiences of happiness, and then you have your work. And a lot of people...
Just
if you read biographies,
work, right?
Yeah, it's so much about how someone worked.
Exactly. The first things they ask you, oh, what's your profession? Where do you work? What do you do?
Yeah.
And they never say, oh, when did you first fall in love? Or
yeah, this was in The Little Prince, remember?
Yes.
He said, I can't stand adults. They never ask you what your favorite color is. They always ask you, what do you do? Yeah.
Or what's your salary?
Yeah. How much do you make?
And they always count and count and count and count.
So we're talking about this really sad topic today. What was your first job?
My first job?
Yeah.
When I came back from the United States, I was 16 back then.
Oh, that's late. You guys start late here.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. Well, I was 16 and my cousin used to work in this hotel which Ararat Hotel.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And she said that one of the guests needs an interpreter.
Hey.
Yes.
So that English came in handy
English.
right away.
Yes.
Whoa,
And she
cool.
said that she recommended me, and I was really in panic because it was my first experience as an interpreter. It was gonna be.
Right
I was
after
like,
your.
can I really do that?
I can imagine what that
Can
was
I
like.
really? Am I gonna be good enough for that?
Yeah.
You know, I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And there was this Indian guy, which in fact became a really good friend of mine. Praveen Tiwari, hello.
Hello, Praveen Tiwari.
Well, I was his interpreter for almost 10 years before I got. Yeah. Even
Your
when I
first
got
job lasted more than 10 years.
because even when I
Unreal.
got different other jobs, I
Yeah.
still kept in touch with Praveen.
Yeah.
And whenever he came over here to Armenia, because he was a businessman
That's
owning a business
great.
here.
Wow.
He was doing some electronics selling,
Okay.
like a distribution.
Yeah.
So I was interpreting, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, all these terms, how to say warehouse and how to say the spare parts and how to say this and that, and I was looking through the dictionary, to
Sure.
be prepared for this job. Well, which I did. It's always we are always so nervous when it's
Well, for
something
starting
new.
Something. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something new, and it's the first day, and you want to be prepared. And then when you start it, it's already, it's like,
Yeah.
it's easy, because I
Yeah.
know it.
That's called jumping in the deep end.
Yeah, just like our show. Remember our first show,
Sure.
Steven?
Sure.
We were kind of nervous. Yeah.
Yep. But now.
But now we're waiting for your calls, our
Yes,
dear
where are
listeners. Yeah, please
Where are
don't
you?
forget to call us and ask all interesting questions about jobs, about professions, about work. We're ready here to
I would like to
listen
hear
to
about
you.
people's their favorite job, the best job they've
Yeah.
ever had.
Could also practice
Could
your
be-
English,
To practice your English.
and we'll always help you with that. So don't be shy. What is your first job experience?
Ah,
Oh.
yes. I have 3 brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and we all talk about our first job, and it's always the same because we all worked for my father. My father has
Oh.
a small company.
Is
It's
it
now,
a good boss?
yeah,
Is he a
yeah.
good
It's
boss?
not jumping in on the deep end. He's like,
okay.
you start with like 2 centimeters of water,
Uh-huh.
and you take tiny steps to get in because he's the kind of guy who likes to do things himself
Mhm.
because he knows how, and it's harder for him to say
To
like,
trust
to
somebody.
help you learn what to do.
It's
Um,
better to do it himself.
Yeah, it's just easier for him.
Well,
that way.
maybe he just doesn't trust others because he
Well,
knows.
how can you trust a 6-year-old? You know.
well, he did if he trusted a job.
Well, I don't know if it was so much a job as it was like in the summertime when my mom was going to work and he was going to work. My mom couldn't take us because she had like a job, and he had his own company, so we could just be there and hang out.
What did you do?
Yeah, well, I remember the first things I would do it was like cleaning the bathroom in a
Wow.
factory.
I wish I got paid for cleaning the house.
No, not
As a
at the
child.
house, in the factory. These are
Oh,
very
yeah, I see.
dirty bathrooms.
Oh.
Yes, so that was not the best
That's
job.
child
And the funny
work
thing
abuse.
is, I don't remember getting paid. We always say, yeah, we used to work all day for our dad just to get a soda at lunch, just to earn a soda
that's
pop.
Not
Yeah,
fair.
because my mom wouldn't let us have soda, and if we could go with our dad to work, then at lunch we could have a soda.
Maybe
Yeah.
I can do that with Alexander. Then at the end of the day, he gets a candy.
That's good. That's a good idea. Bring him on in here. He'll write all of our
Let me
material
think.
for us.
Let me think
about all
what
the
a
best
3-year-old
questions we
can do.
So that was my first job, and I guess it's still a job. Like I was home this summer, and the thing is, after working that whole way through childhood and being really bad, and him having to fix everything for us all the time, now we work very effectively. We had an installation
That was
this
a
summer.
learning experience.
Yeah, and it was so fast because it was just me, my brother, and my dad, and we all know exactly what to do all the time. It's
That's cool.
pretty
He's
cool.
a good dad.
Yeah. You might say he's a miracle worker, which is... Still listening to American in Yerevan on 103.0 Radio Van.
Open heart.
Man, time flies. It's already 9:46, Ina.
As always.
9:46. Unreal.
It's always like this,
That's how it
Steven.
goes. That's how it goes. That's funny. There's a phrase. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was a kid and I was on the back porch. My mom denies this to this very day. She still denies it. Or she thinks, what an awful mother I was. And she tries to block it out of her mind. Because she asked me to go outside. We had a lot of chores when we were kids. Like I told you, chopping wood and stuff. One of the chores was to smash all the cans. We had to smash the cans that we had from, I don't know, different things. And I was outside smashing cans, and I had them lined up on the deck, and I was jumping from one to the next.
Oh,
And
that's
she
fun.
she came out, and she goes, I think she was joking, but I didn't think it was a joke because I was a kid. I just accepted it as it was. And she came out and she said, Steven, what are you doing? And I said, well, I was lining them up and jumping on them because I thought I would maybe have some fun while I do my chores. And she says, Steven, it's work. Work isn't supposed to be fun.
Oh, that's a grown-up mentality thing, maybe.
I think she was joking, because if I think about her personality as it actually is, it's probably a joke. But I thought, and still to this day, I think, wow, time flies when we're here having fun at Radio Vaughn.
But it's work,
this is work. We
Steven.
shouldn't be having fun, Ina. This is serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe we should make a 3-hour show. Shushanik. Hello, from Armenia to India.
Maybe we should have maybe there's a caller who could call and suggest that thing. We'd have it on the
Yeah, maybe.
radio.
Callers. Come on.
Have a 3-hour show or a 4-hour show every day.
Cool. And the time would still fly. I'm sure about it.
We're talking about
jobs.
Yeah, jobs, work and jobs and
Professions.
what about
How is it to choose the right profession when you're still so young at school, just graduated, and with the thought of that life is full of adventures and fun?
yeah.
How does
And you're
it
supposed to
feel
choose
be,
your path.
Yeah.
Right.
How? Because some people are so lucky when they have this feeling that they're sure about what they just have to do because they have this certain talent of doing this thing in life, and
Yeah.
they're sure that there is nothing else they can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some people call that a talent. Some other people call it a disease.
Yeah.
For instance, I have known about acting since I was 6 years old. Can you imagine? I was
Cool.
6 years old and I was like, yeah, I'll be an actor.
Steven, I'm gonna tell you a
And
secret.
it's a disease. What is it?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
My
is it?
dream in childhood was to become an actress.
Oh, what happened?
Or a singer.
What happened? Wait, you are a singer. I've heard you sing.
Well, I do sing,
Yeah.
but not a. It's a hobby still, you know. Not
Okay,
a
so what
profession.
happened to your acting dream?
And my dad
Oh no, he didn't.
told me, yes.
He didn't.
He said,
You said, Dad, I'm going to be an actress. And he said,
only over my dead and cold body. So no, I'm not
Oh.
blaming you,
yeah,
Daddy.
Yeah, right.
But that really affected
Yeah.
my decision.
It's a scary thing. And I don't know what I'll be able to say to my daughter when she decides what she wants to do. It doesn't matter what she wants to do. She could tell me, I want to be a physicist.
Yeah.
And I'll just look at her and think, oh gosh.
Oh, gosh.
Good luck. I can't help you in
Have
any
fun.
way. I don't know anything about physics. But yeah, like I can imagine what it's like. I had that same experience actually when I was
Really?
in chemistry class in the 10th grade.
Uh-huh.
We had this Cuban chemistry teacher who was really intense.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember her name, but I told I didn't like do my homework or something, and she's like, Steven, what are you gonna do when you grow up? What are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna be an actor. You know this, because I was always in the plays at school. I was always continuously like running to rehearsal, and she was like, no, okay, all right, but what are you gonna do?
Still, what are you gonna do?
I was like, I'm gonna act. And she said, okay, well, it's a fine hobby, but what are you gonna do? Yeah.
Stop
adults.
it, please.
Adults.
Stop it.
Yeah. It's a tricky thing picking your profession. This is something I was just in Germany that is tricky in Germany because in the 4th grade, they decide, the system is, they decide a tract for you to go on. Whether you're going to go to school, which is only like 9 years or something, whether you're going to high school, which is 12 years, or if you're going to gymnasium, which is 13 years. And all of these have to do with like the level of professionalism, whether you'll be an engineer or like a window installer.
4th grade.
In 4th
You must be
grade.
kidding me, Steven.
Yeah. You're talking about like the end of high school or university.
Yeah, and I still think it's too early then.
Yeah, but 4th grade?
Oh
Come
my
on.
goodness. Come on, people.
Come on,
Germany. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh.
But we can't have fun
Something
all the
freaky.
time. Sometimes we get to listen to advertisements.
Oh.
And we'll be back as soon as we listen to one of those and some more songs.
This is part of our job.
It's part of our job.
To
And
listen
we
to
love it.
advertisements.
We have fun during it. Okay, keep listening to us. Give us a call, 560-901. Talking about work here with Ina
Stick
MK.
with us and Steven Oxner. I wish we had a concert here.
A Jamiroquai concert?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is an awesome idea.
Let's
How do we
send
make
it to
that
the
happen?
universe.
Yeah, send it out there. Hey, universe, we would love to have Jamiroquai here in
Like
Armenia.
the boomerang as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Well,
I have a question for you.
sure.
How do you get
Steven.
a job? There are lots of ways, these like theories
Hmm.
about getting a job. How do you get jobs?
Through Career Center. No.
Through a career center. Yeah.
Well, that's what we do actually. We send out a lot of resumes through Career Center, like websites and stuff. But
Sure,
most
yeah.
of the time in Armenia, what happens is you get a job through people you know, through your friends, or through relatives that recommend you and stuff. That happens
Yep. Yeah.
in a lot of
Everywhere
cases.
there's a
Yeah.
mafia of some kind.
Mafia.
Yes. This is the same
Sure.
thing. I mean, we have the same thing, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I guess not necessarily. However, they say grad school, for
Mhm.
example. When you finish your bachelor's degree, you pick your grad school to go to. Most of the time, people pick it to get connections, they say. Not necessarily
Yeah.
even to learn anything more. You're still going to university, school. You're still studying, they say.
To
But-
learn how to learn.
Yeah, but
Maybe
not even that anymore. It's
also.
just collecting connections so that you can get a really cool job when you're done.
Yeah, because you know the
Yeah.
right people.
Yeah, yeah. But I've
of
always
course
gotten my
that's
jobs, I
important.
think, just by going to the building. Like, there's something weird about going to the place where it is. For me, I've gone there,
hmm
and that's how it happens.
Because people feel your energy and they like you.
I guess
I
it,
think
I
that's-
could be, or maybe right time, right place sort of thing,
You know, actually, I got my first job, the official job with all the papers and stuff.
Mhm.
It was actually a governmental.
Oh,
job. Well,
okay.
it was a tourism
It was in
ATDA,
tourism. Yeah.
Armenian Tourism Development Agency, which was like a Ministry of Economy structure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so I got that job when I just went there. I took my resume. I went there. I had an interview right away when I went there. And after a couple of days, I got that job.
Wow.
Well, I had the internship, that's for sure. Like
internship.
That's. I think we should talk about that as
Oh,
well.
Yes, okay, let's talk about it.
I think it was a 1 month internship, something, and then
Yeah.
I got that job. And
Hey, that's not bad.
that's one of the
That's
rare.
not a bad thing to have a month of internship and then a real
yeah,
job.
that's one of the rare cases when you when you don't have any like friends or acquaintances or I don't know relatives, and so you just go there and they like you and you get the job.
Yeah, that's a cool thing.
And that was my profession because I graduated from Moscow State University of Tourism.
Wow,
So that was
I
my
did not
major.
know that.
Yeah, that was my major.
It was
I worked.
tourism,
yeah.
like management of tour agencies, sort of thing.
Well, this was something else. I worked as a tourism advisor in an tourism information center,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the general what we were learning is tourism management in tourism and hotels, service, social service and tourism, stuff like that.
It's communication.
Yeah.
You're a communicator, that's why.
Yeah. That's for sure. So for 3 years, I had 3 years of working experience in tourism. And it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Also the DATEV, you know?
Sure.
DATEV revival project, where Annie is working now.
Yeah.
Well, the same office thing. Well, we were doing the opening of DATEV air tramway, remember?
Yes.
It was a huge project. A lot of people were involved, and it was one of the most interesting experiences in my life. Then I changed the area to, like, I started to work as a PR manager in a private company, and then, well, trying along also different things, like, well, I always did the interpreting thing, you know, I told you about it. Then the lyrics writing was there as a hobby, and then it became, again, a part of...
You are a lucky person, where your hobby becomes your job.
Yeah, I feel lucky about it, of course.
That's a great advantage to have in life, to know what you want, and then to have that thing become a means.
The same thing
Such
is with you.
Well,
you love acting.
That. Yeah, but do you know how much I get paid for acting?
Well, yeah. I'm not gonna tell our listeners what you just showed unless they're watching us online.
Well, that's not true. Sometimes I get lucky with some acting jobs, but almost always I've had to have some other kind of job. And almost always, I cannot think of a single time where I haven't gotten a job, or where I have gotten a job by sending my resume. And I've done it. You know, I've sent in applications. I've done the resume thing. I lived in Chicago, and for the first 2 weeks, I was like in a panic, you know, because I didn't have a job. I needed a job because I had rent to pay in 1 month, and it was a lot of money in Chicago, if you can imagine. And I was sending all of these resumes on my computer, just sitting in my room, just looking and researching and finding and sending out things all the time. And then I thought, okay, I'm just going to go to some of these places. And it was amazing. The first 2 places I went to, I got jobs.
You see,
I just went to the
your
building.
energy matters, I swear. I think it's really important.
Could be. Very, very much could be. But now...
and especially for people who get used to the stage, it's so hard to do something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
It's hard to leave the stage when you get used to it.
Yeah. But I think that in a way, theater people have a tendency to be lazy people.
You think?
Yeah. So when they get into situations where like they have to, you know, wait tables and do a lot of work in an evening, it's like, oh, I'd rather just be on stage, you know.
Well, I think, but stage is also hard work. I think it's just still the thing that doing not what you really like to do.
Yeah. Not following the thing that is what you want. We'll talk more about that and some other things related to work when we come back. Right now we'll listen to Be Free by Alyosha.
Every day I'm gonna find me a place to be free and
Ina?
Yes, Steven.
Was that song?
I was enjoying the song.
Yeah, I saw you dancing. That was some good dancing.
Yeah,
Is
dancing.
a hidden passion of yours?
Yes.
Oh,
You caught me.
I got you. Was that song in Armenian? It sounded...
Yes, Steven, it's Armenian. And it's Armenian rock band Dorians is singing
Dorians.
it. Yeah.
Cool.
The name of the song is Yes Gulam, which means I cry.
Mm-hmm.
And the lyrics is written by Arshak Sadoyan, music by Gor Sujan, the soloist of the band.
Okay.
But it's not an accident that I chose to play that song, Steven.
Tell me
you
more.
Know why? You know why?
No.
Artem Manukyan played a great role in creating this song. He's a popular Armenian cellist.
Oh, so the cello in that song.
Yes.
That was really cool.
Yes.
How it started. Yeah, that's
it's really
powerful.
cool.
Yeah.
And who is, by the way, who lives in America and plays there now.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in the U.S. And so, together with his brother, Andranik Manukyan, and their entire family, he has a very special and important message tonight, which is...
What?
Da-da-da,
He has a message with his family?
Yes. It's their dad's 60th birthday tonight.
Hey!
Yeah.
Happy 60th birthday, Mr. Manukyan.
Armen Manukyan.
Armen
Happy
Manukyan.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Our dearest colleague.
Our colleague?
Yes,
We
Stephen.
have a 60-year-old colleague.
Yes,
Ooh,
Stephen.
so
You know, we have a
60-year-old.
show called World Music.
Armen.
Yes, it is on air every
Happy
Monday and
birthday.
Thursday from 10 to 11.
Yeah.
And it's hosted by our birthday boy, Armen Manukyan. Yeah, it is his 60th birthday today, and all the best from entire Radio Van staff.
Yes.
Be healthy.
Be healthy.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Be proud of your sons and
Yes.
enjoy all the good work you're doing.
Yes.
And
Armen.
by the way, you know, Stephen Armen is not only the host of World Music Show, he's
He is
also a writer.
A writer.
Hmm
Oh.
He writes articles for Armenian Voice newspaper and Jazz Info magazine, Gyumri.
Okay.
He's really fond of jazz and also organizes many jazz events that are happening in our country.
Good man. Good man.
And attention, he is a senior specialist at the Academy of Science of Republic of Armenia.
Holy smokes.
And much more, of course, which we cannot just, tell right now.
Amazing. He is a jack of all trades, or
Yeah.
a master na
все руки.
Amazing.
So once again, congrats. And the next song is again played by Artyom Manukyan, which is Sailor's song, right? And his family and friends from Moscow, and of course Radio Van staff, dedicated to Armen Manukyan. Best wishes once again.
Best wishes. Happy 60th birthday.
Yay!
Now we have Sailor's Song. I hope you're having a great evening, Armen. Short but very, very sweet song by Pink Floyd. Goodbye, Blue Sky.
Hello,
It's
Stephen.
kind of fitting for what we're going to talk about right now, right?
Yeah.
It's funny how we're talking about work. You know, we're talking about how people can lose themselves to it sometimes, and how they get it and then they don't maybe want it, and there's
And
all of this kind of rat racing going on.
Yeah, and I think we did the same thing
Yeah,
previously with
What
all
we
our
just-
congrats words.
yeah, with Armen. We talked about his work mostly.
Yeah.
And it is incredible, the massive amount of work that he does. But I have to say, on the air, that I met this man once. I had one conversation with him that day that we had Hush. Remember when we
right.
opened the season of Hush?
I do remember.
And I I didn't talk to him for very long. It was only for like 5-10 minutes. But there was something really deeply tender about this man, about the way he asks questions, the way he listens, and the way he can connect on a very human level. And that is the thing that will probably stay with me much more than the fact that he writes for this magazine, or that he's a
Yeah, so this is
he's
what
a
matters, really.
scientist.
So
Yeah,
why
there's-
don't we suggest, Stephen,
Yeah.
a new way of writing a resume?
Okay,
Yeah,
how?
not
Let's
only
hear
I've done this, I've done that, I've studied here, I've worked there, but
First,
I'm a great mother. I'm a really dedicated friend.
when I was 7 years old, my favorite color was green, but then it changed to red when
Yeah.
I turned 8.
Yeah, and I fell in love when I was 13. Stuff like that. No.
Yeah.
Why don't we
And
do
when I'm
this?
trying to fall asleep at night, these are my thoughts.
Yeah.
Please
Please
give me a job.
consider that. Well, at the end of the day, we speak about work so much, but what matters and what stays with the person and about the person is when you remember a certain person.
It's
or
kind of like
when you have them in
Yeah.
your heart is the good things about them, right?
Yeah, and it seems like it's like an internal stream of life,
Mm-hmm.
like an internal flow that is in a person. And
Yeah.
it's funny because when it's blocked, you remember that too.
Exactly.
Yeah, weird.
It's all about
Weird.
energies again.
And there is this case, you know, when someone works so much, because in this day and age, we have to work pretty hard to support our families. We all do. It's like
The world
I don't know how to
makes
get
us
away
do
from
that.
work. Really,
The world makes us work and work and work, right?
if we want to support the people we love, right?
Mhm. To provide. for
But
them.
there's a catch to it, because if we work and work and work, and then we go past that place of necessary stability or necessity to keep food on the table or something like this,
But then
roof
we
over our
lose.
heads, we can almost lose ourselves in it. And then when we stop working on like weekends or something, we don't know what to do with ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah?
exactly. And we also don't have enough time. We always complain that we don't have enough time to interact with our family, and we don't have enough time to see our kids and stuff. But when we do have this time,
Yeah.
exactly what you said, we don't know what
Running
to do
away.
with it.
Yeah. Getting our phones out, checking
The
email.
same
Yeah.
Rat race.
The
that you were
rat
speaking
race.
about.
Yeah.
Just like my dad.
Okay.
When
What
we
about it?
went, when like a couple, not couple, but like 5 or 6 or years ago,
Mhm.
when the doctor told my dad that he just needs to get rest to save his life, because
Oh,
he
was
didn't.
having health problems.
Yeah,
from
he-
stress or
From
something?
stress
Yeah.
and from working so hard without any vacations for over than 20 years. Can you imagine that?
Aye.
When eventually I said, "Okay, Dad, we're going on a vacation to
Yeah.
the sea."
Oh, yeah, great.
So we
perfect.
went there
Go
with
to the sea.
with a friend,
Yeah.
and when we finally got there and got our stuff unpacked, and we in the morning when I said, "Dad, okay, we're going to swim," and yeah, come on.
Yeah, we made it. We made it. We're at the sea.
Yeah, and he goes like, "Oh, I don't believe I'm not gonna get any phone calls. I better stay in the room in the hotel room and read newspaper."
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
Dad, you must be kidding me. The sea is over there. We're gonna swim. We're gonna have fun. Just relax. And he couldn't just turn off his brain.
Oh my gosh.
It was something really, really psychologically. I could figure out that it was a problem.
Yeah, it's like a hamster wheel.
Mhm.
You get into the hamster wheel and you just keep running forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after a couple of days, of course, he realized that he's on a vacation and he needs to rest.
And he took it. Oh, good.
Yeah, he
Good,
took it.
good.
But it still took like time.
We have a few more birthday wishes.
Oh
Yes?
yes, yes.
My sister, first of all, Sierra Karsh in Colorado, turned 10 years old today.
Hey, happy birthday!
Yep. I talked to her on Skype. She was eating breakfast in bed.
Warmest wishes from Armenia,
Yes.
Sierra.
And
And my host dad's birthday is today.
hey,
Mark Powell.
happy birthday, Mark Powell.
Happy birthday.
Mark Powell, happy birthday.
All the best to you and the entire Powell family, and hugs and kisses all the way halfway around the world.
And the artistic director of our theater, our very own Yerevan State Puppet Theater, named after Tumanyan Ruben Babayan. Happy
Yay,
birthday.
Happy birthday.
As well as my dear friend Palina Grishina. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We have a happy birthday day.
Happy
today.
birthday day. A lot of powerful people are having birthdays today.
Cool. So the 20th of January is an important day today.
Here's a great song, Coco by Parov Stellar.
Dedicated to all birthday people.
Vaughn,
Yeah, it's kind of like the rat race again.
please. Yeah, it's so funny.
We're running out of time,
There's this-
Steven.
yeah,
and
we are
time
running out of
is
time.
money.
Okay, so- We gotta go. We gotta go. This is something my father says all the time. Time is money. Time is money. Time is not money. First of
No,
all, even in
yeah.
the first, very
Please.
direct meaning of that.
Time is time.
Time is
okay?
time. We're not
And-
even sure that it exists,
and-
other than in physical. Time,
Yeah, I
right?
would like to ask all our listeners here in Armenia, in America, and all over the world to just stop the rush. Take a moment, just stop, just look around. What a wonderful world.
Yeah.
Just to notice the beautiful stuff around, to notice our family, our friends, to take time just to spend with them, because time is not only money and life is not only about money. And taking coffee breaks.
Oh yeah. Because
During the
that's,
work.
You said people in Armenia, but I think we have an easier time here in Armenia.
Yeah.
Easier time. That's funny.
Coffee
phrase.
break is like
Because
a ritual
it's
here,
a coffee
right?
break is like all of work. The whole time you're at work, you're on coffee break. You're
Yeah.
still working, but there's coffee and you're talking
And the chat.
having
nice
chats, and everyone's
interaction.
smoking and having
Yeah.
a good time. In America, it seems a lot of the time that people are waiting for that coffee break that's about to,
Yeah.
it's gonna come. It's gonna come. I
Yeah,
swear
soon,
it's gonna
soon,
come.
soon.
Yeah, I gotta keep working
And
for
then the
another
10 minutes.
15 minutes. Here, it's not that difficult, which I'm thankful for. A really big change for me psychologically, if I can just share this quickly, is I don't rush internally nearly as much when I am in Armenia.
Yeah, the time,
I'm
like
very
the
thankful
temp
to
is
Armenia
different.
for that. Yeah, the temp
right?
is very different. And while we do have not a very simple situation in Armenia as just people who are living and working and trying to get by, there is still this aspect of
Of a person,
like a
personality,
flow. Yeah,
of noticing a person behind
behind
the worker,
behind
right?
the worker. Yeah, yeah.
Just like us, when we get together to get ready for our show, we interact and enjoy our time, our dialogues, right?
We do.
It's not just like doing work for work.
Yeah.
We get to know each other better, which affects our work eventually
Yes, absolutely.
in a better way.
It does. So think about that for the next couple of days. We'll be back here on Friday at 9 p.m.
Don't forget to like our page, write messages to us, download our application, and call us.
And tell your friends abroad, because they have a pretty easy schedule with when we have this show. They can listen to us on the air. They don't have to listen to the recordings, although they could listen to the recordings as well.
Yeah,
in any
but
case,
still, anywhere you can listen to us
yes.
if you have a phone.
Take care. We will see you on Friday. You are listening to 103.0 Radio Van
With Steven Oxner
and Ina MK.
You're setting fire.